Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first and foremost, I really do want to talk about this tweet from Sentiment. Now, obviously today we're going to be talking about the inevitable $10,000 plus price prediction on QNT. Is it realistic? I think that by the end of this video, you should be thinking to yourself, why isn't QNT worth $10,000 right now? And I'm not even joking. Like, I really do want to know all of your thoughts by the end of this video. I want you guys to comment them down below, and I also want you guys to hit that like button if you think that QNT can hit 10K. So with all of that in mind, let's take a look at this tweet. So it is here. Quant has been climbing the market cap ranks as of late among the top 100 assets in crypto. It has the second best returns in the past month and best in the past week. Volume, daily active addresses, and whale accumulation have all supported QNT's rise. First off, let's take a look at a few things. 1. It's up a notable 27% in the past week, seeing the largest trading volume in over a year. We do see over here, highest QNT trading volume since early September 2021. Fourth highest QNT address activity in the past year. Now, take a look at the key whale addresses holding 100 to 1,000 QNT. They have collectively added 15.4% more to their bags in the past 5 months. This is huge. Not only are we seeing mass whale accumulation of QNT, because I think that a lot of people are actually seeing the value proposition behind it now, but we are also seeing some major bullish on-chain metrics. Also, social signals. We do see here a week ago, we saw a major social signal from QNT hit exceptionally high social activity levels. Quant is defying all odds to remain bullish at this time. It has maintained an alternative rank of number 1 out of the top 3,899 coins over the past 48 hours. This is huge. Now, with all this in mind, obviously price on QNT has been great to watch. Everything around QNT has been great to watch. And I think that this is only just the beginning. When we really kind of look at Quant on face value, I still think that it is one of the most overlooked and misunderstood gems in this space. A lot of people could argue the opposite, by the way. I mean, like, you could easily say, yeah, I think it's extremely overvalued. I could think, whatever you want to say about QNT, you could say it. And I'm not going to argue against you because I just feel the need that, one, I have talked on this channel almost every single day since starting this channel about tokens just like QNT. Utility gems. We've talked about their value propositions. Now, with all of that in mind, Quant's opening a very, very lucrative door to all of these other major tokens. And what is that door? Well, it's allowing them to not only flow across the bridge to traditional systems, but it's also allowing a bridge from the traditional systems back to these tokens. What does that mean? Well, Quant is the connector between all DLTs to the legacy systems, which are transacting quadrillions of dollars every single year. There's so much money out there that a lot of people just don't actually realize how much money there is. Now, let's take a quick look at a few things here. So, I seen this tweet from the 3 Antons on Twitter, and I actually laughed reading the responses. So first off, we do see here, if you hold QNT, you must understand your position. 1, QNT has the attention of the crypto world. I don't doubt it. 2, exchanges don't have enough QNT to trade. That's arguable. I actually did talk about the supply, shortage idea. There's actually a lot of misconceptions around how much supply is left on exchanges. Again, do I think that the supply is still incredible? 100%. 33% less supply than Bitcoin. 60,000 wallets, meaning you are the early investor and are waiting for payday. 10,000 QNT. Now, Yes, the $10,000 price target for QNT does get thrown out there very loosely. And we actually do see a response down here. 10,000 QNT is a ridiculous pipe dream. The market cap, all right, this one's actually pretty funny. The market cap would be ridiculous to get even half that value. Really? I mean, the market cap for QNT, if we had Ethereum's market cap, which we all know Ethereum is an incredible network in crypto. I mean, who doesn't want to pay astronomical, absurd prices for every single transaction? And, of course, the proof of stake merge was incredible. It definitely showed us how centralized the network is, which is also a very great statistic to have in crypto, right, guys? But seriously, though, Ethereum has done a great job over the last couple of years becoming, as big as it has in the last 7 years. But what I really want to focus on here is the fact that, listen, at $10,000, okay, we'd be sitting at about $134.1 billion in market cap. If you actually think that this is ridiculous, take a step back to 2017, 2018, when XRP actually did hit this market cap near perfectly. And it was at a time when this market had basically little to no value flowing through it. Crypto basically had no eyes on it during that time. A lot of people could argue that there was a lot of people in crypto during that time, but there really wasn't that much retail exposure to crypto. So to have $134 billion in market cap hit during that time on one singular asset was crazy to me. But now that we have trillions of dollars flooding into crypto, you have BlackRock, $10 trillion assets under management. The DTCC moving in on crypto, transacting $2.4 quadrillion a year. You have Swift making massive DLT power plays. You have R3 Corda, a huge, massive giant around the institutional grade area, all moving very fast into crypto. And you think that $134.1 billion in market cap is a pipe dream for an asset that is doing the unthinkable. What is it? What is Quant doing that is so incredible? Well, let's take a look at a few things. First off, I got to give a shout out to my man Crypto Manny over here. I just followed him because I read through this entire thread the other day and I was actually shocked. I was shocked that someone can provide such a great insight on what QNT really is becoming while only having 611 followers. We've been talking about for I would say well over a year now. We've been talking about Quant for so long, and in that time frame, I've given you guys endless insights on why I do think that Quant is such an incredible investment opportunity. But let's take a look at this thread because I think that this is the greatest way to really kind of provide a value on QNT. So, how fast can QNT grow if it solves the most crucial problem for legacy systems to operate in a digital economy? It took Bitcoin 4 years to reach $1 billion in market cap. This was with every regulator fighting its adoption. QNT reached 1 billion in 2.5 years and has held at over 1 billion for a year and continues to show strength in its adoption. It then took Bitcoin from 2013 to 2017 to reach $320 billion in market capitalization. The price of QNT at $320 billion would be over 20K. Assuming an equal pace of growth, it would take QNT another 3 years from today to 2025-2026 to reach the same levels. But if you notice up there, it actually took us a year and a half less to reach $1 billion market cap than Bitcoin. So you could argue that it would actually take us about 1.5 years, earlier to reach 320 billion than Bitcoin. If that is the case, we would actually be looking at about 2023 to 2024. Now, is that realistic? Who knows? But all I will say is this. I don't really care about the time frame on it, but $100 billion for QNT is essentially programmed. I've talked about this so many times on this channel. You can't simply have a successful crypto-driven digital market without interoperability. And Quant has solved that key aspect. We do see down here, BNB had a very similar run to QNT in its early stages. From inception in 2017 to 2019, it reached $5 billion in market cap. QNT reached about 4.75, so 1/4 less billion from inception from 2018 to 2021. From March 2020, BNB hovered under $1.85 billion in market cap. It then would reach $100 billion in market cap in just 1 year. QNT has been hovering over $1 billion in market cap for a year, and it is due for a breakout. QNT at $100 billion in market cap would be over $7,000 per QNT. Now, like I said, if we actually go and look at the $100 billion overall valuation for QNT, it's about 7.5 almost. This is an upside of 56x, by the way, from our current price level. Do I think that that is realistic? Yes, I do. Now, I actually want to take a quick second to talk to you guys about something. So, when we actually look at QNT, I think that it's great that Manny's actually saying, it would take, in just 1 year, it would take BNB to go from 1.85 billion to 100 billion. The interesting fact about this is that we added $1 trillion in market capitalization to the entire crypto market in 1 quarter alone. 1 quarter alone. Okay, now think about that. That was during 2021, and we now have a lot more eyes on crypto. Imagine what this market would be if we added $2 trillion in 1 quarter, or 5 trillion, or 10 trillion. Is that possible? 100%. It is possible. Now, think about it like this. You have QNT, which is a spotlighted asset. It is a spotlighted, utility-driven asset. Okay, 33% less supply than Bitcoin. That's a huge, huge buy signal to me right there, just the supply alone. Then you look at it, utility behind it, massive buy signal. The team behind it, massive buy signal. The utility combined with the team, combined with the partnerships, huge buy signal. If you do just 5 minutes of research on QNT, you can understand the power and the potential behind this. But also, I'm very interested in this. I believe that we are about to see a major shift in adoption. This next run will be a utility run driven by institutions and central banks trying to enter the digital space. QNT will play a big part onboarding large legacy institutions. I imagine that one way for institutions to earn yield in the digital economy is to put their cash to work by staking QNT to process transactions, similar to institutions buying U.S. treasuries to earn yield on their cash. QNT would have an exponential run as demand rises. And here you guys have 2 time frames. So, now again, I don't like time frames and I don't like putting specific targets on things, but I think that this is actually pretty interesting. So, the yield on QNT each month, some say it is about 47 each, by the way, as you guys do see over there. I don't like to play into hypotheticals. We don't know exactly what the yield will be, but I do think that it will be very interesting to see. Now, 2 things on this chart are telling me, 1, we could still see the $60 to $80 range on QNT, which I do think is possible. But 2, you could also see the major price fluctuation here to just the all-time high, $423. By May of 2023, we could easily see that range being tested. We could also see a major move to the $1,600 range. I completely agree on this range here, actually. Remember my video just recently that we talked about QNT hitting a roughly price of $1,800 to $2,200? Yeah, I do think that that is 100% possible. It's very conservative as well. Could we see the high-end targets of 5K plus being tested on QNT? 100%. And I would actually argue that going into 2025 to possibly even 2030, we could see $25,000 per QNT. But it all depends on the demand from the institutional grade side. I would say that going into the long-term longevity of QNT, a $1 trillion market cap for it is very likely. I don't know what the time frame on this would be, but I could see $100 billion in market cap being targeted in the next run-up. A lot of people think that 2023 into 2024 is the next run-up. Everyone has their own idea of this. We don't know. Okay, nobody knows. I'm just going to be the first to admit, nobody knows when the next major cycle will take place. A lot of people have based it around the Bitcoin halving in 2024. Is that possible? 100%. But I will say this. I just continue to stack QNT when it's cheap. Do I think that it's cheap right now? Long term, yeah, I do think so. I mean, the upside potential here at 100 billion is still a 56x opportunity. That's an incredible investment amount, in my opinion, in terms of an ROI. So, to me, I still look at QNT as extremely undervalued, especially if you are looking at this long term. Short term, you might get better pricing, but it's not destined. It's not guaranteed. I still have fiat on the sidelines just to buy the dip on QNT if we do get it. And like I said, if we go under $100 yet again, I will, be deploying a ton of capital. We're talking about like 100 to 200 QNT being bought up once we are under $100 again. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.